Roy, tonight Celtic take on Atalanta in what promises to be another pulsating Champions League match. How much are you, as a Celtic legend, are you looking forward to this match tonight?
I think it's a great game. I love the format this year. I must admit, the fact you've got the 8 different games. Our 4 away ties were always going to be difficult. We saw that in Dortmund. It'll be the same tonight against Atalanta. But great games for the players to be involved in. The fact that we're actually in the competition is a real bonus. And I think this year we do have a chance. It'll be down to maybe our home games, getting points in the home games. But it would be nice to pick up something here in Bergamo tonight. But we need to be really at our best to do that.
Atalanta, they're Europa League winners, Roy, and they're in good form again this season. How big a test is this for Celtic and the manager, Brendan Rodgers?
It's a massive test, but it's a test in a positive way because Brendan has said continuously he wants to take the level of the group up, and he's done that. You see that this year we're playing some great football right from the start of the season. Sitting up there at the top of the league, had a fantastic night against Bratislava a few weeks back. One of the best nights I've ever seen at Celtic Park, to be honest. And I've been involved in a lot of big games there, but it was great. I mean, the supporters were fantastic. The team played so well. So Brendan's building a squad to compete at this level. But this is a tough match. This is a top team in Italy. You mentioned the fact they won the Europa League last year. So it's always good to gauge yourself at this level. But as I said before, I do think, it's a home form at Celtic Park that will determine where we go in this group. Any points you pick up away from home, including Atalanta, would be a real bonus.
We're here in Italy, we're here in the team hotel actually, Roy. What's your memories of playing teams from this wonderful, historic football nation?
Yeah, I remember back early 80s when we played Juventus at Celtic Park. It was a home and away tie, obviously, in those days. And if I'm right, Murdo McLeod scored the winner that night. Liam Brady played for Juventus as well. Top Italian side. They were full of international players. So we had a great night at Celtic Park. As we've had, right throughout the ages, there's nothing better than a European night at Celtic Park. I mentioned earlier about the Bratislava and the Weller games coming up, but I do remember that Juventus game fondly. Unfortunately, we lost the game over there. A very, very tough match, but the game at Celtic Park was terrific. And Italian teams have always got that bit, something special about them. You see the historic nation, obviously going back to the Lisbon Lions again. You think the Inter Milan days, and when the boys beat them in Lisbon that night. So there's always been a sort of, a good connection between Celtic and Italian teams. So it's nice to have one again tonight.
At the weekend, Roy, we saw a thrilling top of the table clash, a 2-2 draw between Celtic and Aberdeen, two clubs that are close to your heart. What did you take from that match and how much did you enjoy it?
Enjoyed the game. I think Aberdeen came and showed that they're going to be, a challenger this year, to a point. Are they going to topple us in the league? I doubt it very much. I think we're still far better than everyone else in the country. I think we've shown that. But all credit to Aberdeen at the weekend, and I had good times up there as well. I won the League Cup when I was manager there. It was 5 years, player and coach, and then manager. So I have got, a bit of fondness for Aberdeen. But my best days were at Celtic Park, so my loyalty is always going to come back to Celtic when it comes to those kind of games. But I thought Aberdeen did well. It was a game of sort of 2 halves, we've said the old cliche. We could have been well ahead in the game at half time, 2-0, it could have been 3 or 4. Aberdeen came back into the game and showed good fighting spirit. The new manager's got them playing well, got them playing organised. We play them again in a couple of weeks, of course, at Hampden. But I do still think we're far better than any other teams in Scottish football at this moment in time.
And just finally, Roy, before we let you go and enjoy tonight's match, another one of your former clubs, you were a coach down in Birmingham for Aston Villa. We'll be facing them later in the campaign in the Champions League. How much are you looking forward to that contest at Villa Park?
It's another great game. Villa's a great club. I was there for 3 years, both at Villa and at Birmingham over the course of my coaching career, but Villa were special. There'll be a great atmosphere. Their manager's got them playing really well. Last year, qualifying for the Champions League, getting that top 4 place in probably and arguably the best league in the world in the Premier League in England. So that's a tough match. I'd like to have some points in the bag before we go to that game at the end of January, but it'll be a great game for the fans, great game for the players. Again, it's just great for the club and the players to be involved at this level. And that's what they play all season for, is to get to that Champions League level, to play the best teams in Europe. And Villa are definitely one of those teams as well. So that'll be another cracking match. But there's a lot of games to be played, a lot of points to be won, hopefully, before that.